Hello guys, today I'm going to talk about delivering JDAMs in pre-planned mode in the Hornet. Today we're going to be using GBU-38s, which are 500-pound GPS guided bombs. The Hornet can carry 8 of these, 2 per station, across 4 stations. And we will be delivering these to a target. The advantage of using pre-planned mode with the lightning targeting pod is we can have all the coordinates selected before we come in range, and once we get in range we can drop all the bombs very quickly and leave the hostile area. Before we get started, let's look at some of the controls that we're going to need bound to our HOTAS. First, you're going to need the throttle designator up, down, left, and right, as well as the D-press. The D-press is used to select the target and transfer coordinates. I also prefer to have the radar elevation control up and down bound, and this also serves as the zoom in and out for the targeting pod. Okay, now that we have that, let's get into the cockpit and set this jet up for some bombing. Firstly, I'm going to select the autopilot, go into barometric altitude hold. We're at 30,000 feet here, which is a pretty good altitude for delivering bombs. The higher you are and the faster you are, the further you're going to be able to be away from the target when you release the bombs. First thing to do is look at our map. Our targets today are going to be at Kubaleti Air Base. There are 8 tanks over here, so let's click on the air base. To get the coordinates, we got 41, 55. Let's put these into our HSI. We're going to program these as a waypoint. So we're going to go HSI, data. I'm going to put these on waypoint 2. Select the UFC. And look back at north. Look back at those coordinates. 41, 55, 80. 41, 55, 80. East. 41, 52, I'm going to call that 55. I'm also doing a rough decimal conversion here because these are in minutes and the jet wants decimals. So I'm just doing a rough mental guess on the decimal. It gets it close enough. So we're going to go 41, 52, 55. Elevation, we're going to put in 5 meters. And now that we have this programmed into our HSI, we can hit waypoint designate, and it will transfer this information up onto the HUD. So we'll see 57 miles, and it's straight ahead to the target. That's good. We can go ahead and pull our autopilot heading cursor around the direction we're going, turn on the heading select, and now the jet is flying stable and ready to do some bombing. The first thing I'm going to do is select our SA page, and if we zoom out, we will see 2 things. We will see our target area, which is shown by this diamond, and the position of the targeting pod is pointed in this box. We're going to use that later to get them lined up. Now, to set up our bombs, let's go to air-to-ground mode with master arm on. Make sure that your FLIR switch is turned on. This will start cooling down the lightning targeting pod, and that takes roughly 2 minutes. Now, with our GBU-38s are going to show up as J82, which is the series of bomb. We're going to select those. We're going to set the fusing first, select electronic fuse, and instant. Now we're going to go to the JDAM page and select the quantity. And this selects all the stations that we're interested in having up on our mission page. So we're going to select all 4 stations and hit return. Then we're going to go to the mission page, and we're going to put it into the mode switch, which is in PP for pre-planned, we're going to switch that to target of opportunity. The reason we're switching to target of opportunity now is because this is what we're going to use to import the coordinates from the targeting pod. The JDAMs are now ready to go, so now let's go set up our targeting pod. On the right MFD, I'm going to select the menu, switch, go to FLIR, and our targeting pod is up, and in order to use it we need to select sensor of interest right, and you will see this designator that shows that we are currently controlling this MFD. Now, let's check how far we are from the target, 35 miles. We can now scroll down and start looking for our airfield. If you look on the SA page, we can line up the targeting pod by moving it right, left, down. So we're going to line this up with the waypoint that we put in. Now we're going to look at the targeting pod, and we see the airport that we were looking for. Let's zoom in on here. These are the tanks we want to bomb. So, we're now going to zoom all the way in, get a tank lined up, hit the throttle designator depress, and you're going to see the coordinates show up in TOO mode. Here they are. Now we're going to click change the modes, and that'll be saved into pre-plan 1 for station 8. So now we're going to hit step to go to the next station, still in 1, back to TOO, and repeat the process. Line up a new target, select it in TOO, save the coordinates to that pre-plan, and step through. Back to TOO. Save the coordinates, back to pre-plan. Now when we hit step, we'll be back to station 8, which already has a pre-planned one. So now we're going to switch to pre-planned 2, hit TOO, go over, select the first tank on the second set, transfer the coordinates, pre-planned, step to the next station, select pre-planned 2 again, back to TOO, transfer the coordinates, pre-planned, next station, select where we want to save the coordinates, TOO, transfer, save, and the last one. Okay, now we can step through. We've got all of our coordinates saved. We're now within 15 miles. We're showing in range, ready to drop. So now we can press the pickle switch, and we can drop 4 bombs. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then to drop the second set of 4, we'll click on pre-planned 1, because we're back to station 8. Drop, click on station 1 again, or program 1 again. Drop, 1, drop, 1, drop. All the bombs are now off of the aircraft and on the way to the target, so we will turn off in order to watch them go in. At this point, if it was a hot environment, you could turn and exit out of the area. Also, to clean up the aircraft a little bit, we can select the 4 stations that still have the racks and drop those racks off of the aircraft. I see those falling away, and the racks are a little bit cleaner. Let's look at our targets. There we go. All targets destroyed. Well, looks like one is sneaking off. In this mission editor, the tanks start driving once they see any danger, and sometimes they manage to avoid GPS bombs. However, that was a fairly successful run. And that's how we use pre-planned mode with the targeting pod. I hope you found this useful. I will be making more tutorials in the future. If you have anything you would really like to see explained, please let me know. And have fun flying. Bye-bye.